Yes, we have for Soch. I'm struggling tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Magnificent, and we have Primacy. So TXR.
Remember, you're hooked on phonics, Shock.
I know. I really do need it. I'm so bad with saying people's names. I'm promising to get better. That's one of the things I've kind of like said during the course of this this Farmers League casting. I will try to get better at these names. But Keeladar, Malicious, for Soch, Magnificent, Primacy, Talron, TXR. They are a merger of OP4 and, of course, TXR. So that's why you're seeing some of those OP4 guys that we have seen in the past from Connery in the TXR lineup and the TXR roster. So they are a combination. They just merged right before the Farmers League Invitational happened. So that's why you're seeing kind of that combination of players. So TXR has now had, this is the third week of being able to practice and get used to that 6-man roster. So I'm excited to see what TR can bring against Future Crew tonight. Future Crew missing a couple people tonight. You're actually seeing some sub outs. Chicho is the new sub in for, and I'm sure you guys probably remember the first 2 weeks, Dubstep was the person who was playing for Future Crew in that kind of that medic utility slot role. It's now being filled by Chicho. He's actually been playing, or Chicho, he's actually been playing extremely well, I know, in the Future Crew practices, so we're seeing him step in for Dubstep. And of course, another player we're not seeing tonight is McHawk61, one of the Future Crew, one of the top heavies for Future Crew, who's always been an extremely talented player for them. So that may hurt them tonight, but we do see Bert W stepping in. Of course, the 404 who had an excellent performance against Recursion last week in that tough defeat the Future Crew had against Recursion. So we get to see them come back tonight, kind of regroup, go against TXR. TXR, not going to be easy. They do have an excellent roster. They've got Talron, who's going to be using that shotgun tonight. I think he's probably going to be using the lightest shotgun. This base lends itself to that. So I'm excited to see that, especially the battle between Talron and Stuke, who both probably will be using shotguns in this map. We'll kind of see what happens with Stuke, whether or not he's going to do that. I'm going to try to lay off saying Stuke Hammer as much. I know that got annoying last time.
That's
Diz
what
probably,
it is, though.
It is. I do agree with you there. That is 1 minute to go, so I'm going to actually go into our screen here. There it is.
I am curious to see how this is going to unfold. TXR had a bit of an a rough opening against DA, but then they rebounded really nicely last week. They have been on the competitive scene for a while.
Yes.
I know they've been doing PAL, so this is old hat for them.
Yes, it is. You know, TXR has been around for a long time. You are absolutely right. They're very experienced with this sort of setup. So that's 30 seconds to go. Of course, I'm going to show you guys the perspective from this Eastern Sunderer that looks like it's the Future Crew Sunderer. So we may see some rocket primaries come from the Southern Sunderer like we did on Tuesday at Pale Canyon. It's a really good spot to kind of get up on those rocks, to be able to just shoot down Sunderers and try to just really inhibit that movement into that northern 3-story building. And here we go. 3 seconds to go. And we're off. Timer has started. And here comes Future Crew out of the gates. Are they going to try anything funky? We have It's Murda is playing Infiltrator tonight. I'm actually going to follow him around and see what he does. He's able to get a couple spots. He might try to get a snipe here on one of the TXR guys. If he can see them, he does. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get a snipe, though. He doesn't really even hone in on him. Oh, does he have a crossbow?
I'm not sure what he's doing.
I'm actually not sure at all. Murda, go home, you're drunk kind of moment right now. So here he goes. He's throwing a grenade that's an EMP grenade into the building. I'm going to follow him behind. Keeladar gets the first kill for TXR. TXR off to their first blood right now. I have no idea where Murda just went. He actually just died for Soch. So 4-0, 6-0 TXR, getting a huge start against Future Crew early on. I do hear some shotguns going off, and 404 goes down from Future Crew. There's the first kill from Stuke with a Commissioner. Future Crew on the board, 8-2. Not a strong opening for Future Crew, but they are able to actually somehow secure the point. I'm really not sure how they were able to do that. But they did get on point. Here come the Future Crew guys to back them up. Bert W is on the point now. He's going for that rocket primary kill. He does miss. Future Crew is very nice and secure on the point, though. So despite the kind of the rough start, the nice kills by Keeladar for Soch and Malicious, you know, Future Crew is still holding the point down. They're playing that objective, playing that 25-point point. Murda was able to finally redeem himself, get a kill. We have a Dildar kind of sitting in the middle there for TXR. TXR 10-5 right now. Vert W finally on the board. He does get a rocket primary kill. And
it is worth noting that holding the point until it gets to the 2-minute mark doesn't really mean anything.
You're absolutely right. I mean, all Future Crew is doing right now is just neutralizing the point for the match. So the moment that point's neutralized, it's really fair game for really like any team right now. Because if TXR goes and sits down, Vert W wins a nice one-on-one there with his Orion. But you know, if TXR is able to get down on that point at the 2-minute mark, it won't matter. All the work the Future Crew did in that first 2 minutes will go to complete waste. There's a nice jump down from Talron. He's able to actually not using a shotgun at all, and able to get a nice kill on Vert W, who is leading Future Crew's team with 5 points. Future Crew is catching up just a little bit right now. Tav there, I think he just got a nice kill, and actually he didn't get a kill. He's not on the board yet. There's another kill steal from Vert W, 7 points for Vert W, and 17-15 Future Crew. A lot of action happening right now on this point area. I really like to see this. TXR bringing it hard to Future Crew. I love to see that because, you know, like we've been saying, Future Crew or TXR taking that time to get just meshed up, to get kind of you know, used to those 6 men on their team that aren't necessarily used to working together previously on the live servers. So I like to see this play. I think I just bounced a grenade back from my Azura cam. I'm sorry about that, Kildar.
That was bound to happen sooner or later.
Yeah, absolutely was. I think people were betting on the time that I took a rocket primary to the face. Murda, playing like Murda always does, sitting sneakily under a rock.
Looks like he's using the Artemis.
He is using the Artemis. I'm not sure what the choice was, you know, why he did that, but you know, he is a strong infiltrator. He is strong with a lot of the weapons of the infiltrator, as you guys have probably seen on his stream. Murda is actually kind enough to host us tonight too, so we have a couple different hosts going on from a couple different areas, which is really nice to see. But Murda, of course, always generous enough to host. His stream is, you know, of course, very, very massive. Future Crew out that 32-21 lead right now on TXR, kind of pinching them in right now. We have a little bit of a goose chase going on over here in the east side of the base. Vert W using his patented rock sitting strategy. He likes to kind of peek like this and only show just a part of his head, so he's really able to. A nice conk grenade. He's going to get an attempt for a rocket primary attempt, but Forsosh goes down before Vert W can get that kill.
That was just overkill. That wasn't necessary.
It really was, but you know, Vert W is all about that overkill. He's that type of player. By the way, I want to point out 404 is starting to bring the noise. He's sitting there with 11 points on Future Crew. He led Future Crew in points last game too. 404, a very talented positional player, a really good pickup that Future Crew got a couple weeks prior to the Farmers League Invitational starting. And it looks like Murda's sitting up there. He's going to go down to Forsosh. Stuke going to get a kill on Talron. I saw over there on my kill feed. 7 seconds left to go on this point cap. It is 44-23 Future Crew. They have started to look a lot more solid after their very shaky start against TXR.
They did rebound nicely, and that was just a really good start by TXR.
Yes. I mean, that was a brilliant start. They absolutely outmaneuvered and outplayed Future Crew in that start. Really nice to see from a team like TXR, from a team that we've seen the last couple weeks. Of course, they had a nice win against 56RD last week, but a team that, you know, kind of had a bit of a struggle start. And we have a point flip happening right now. I wonder where that TXR guy is. I don't think he's anywhere to be 10 He does go down.
He's dead.
Yeah, he was dead. He was in the corner there, but I get a little excited when I see a point flip happening, especially with, you know, the 10 seconds to go that there were. In that point, but it looks like Future Crew going to secure that point. They're going to go up by 25 points more. There it is, 79-23 Future Crew. Nice lead that they've established here. The tactics they're using tonight is, I mean, they look so solid right now. I mean, you see that they have guys in positions. They've got guys kind of doing. Murda attempting to shoot the Dildar with a sensor crossbow. I'm not sure that's going to work too well there, Murda, but
he tried.
He did try. I know you can't blame him for trying, but we have TXR kind of going around. They're looking to secure this north building right now, and you know, Future Crew responding to them extremely quickly. You know, it's obvious that Future Crew has been doing some nice spotting, getting them on the radar. And winning, you know, Future Crew is now just really winning a lot of their one-on-ones, and that's very, very important in a tournament like this or in a league like this, because the more one-on-ones you win, I mean, it's just 6 men is really not enough to afford to lose a couple one-on-ones. You know, if you have more guys, like if it's 12 on 12 or 24 v 24, you could maybe afford to lose a couple guys to one-on-ones. But with 6 men, you lose one guy and you're down by a lot already. For Soch, going to have a little bit of a one-on-one, but the Future Crew guy that he was having a one-on-one with has backed off. It looks like that was Tav. And here is another randomly named guy. That's Cuz, but it's actually Primacy from TXR. And Chicho is able to take him out with the Orion. Chicho not playing Medic. I think Future Crew has opted out of the Medic today, Diz. Nice.
We have not seen very many Medics on this match.
No, we have not.
On this map, I should say.
I don't even think any team from last round was using a medic at all. And actually, that's something I'm just now noticing, that 56RD did not use a medic, and I think that actually speaks to their practicing of this format, that they're realizing that the medics aren't really working too well. That was a TK, by the way, from ForSoch. -5, unfortunately, for TXR there. You see this, the burning remains of whoever he just killed. I think that was magnificent from TXR. Going down, it was a rocket primary to the back is what I was just seeing there from
Wow,
Soch.
Vert with a triple kill right there.
Did he just have one in the building? Nice job by Vert W. Of course, a very talented heavy player. 404.
You think Vert's talking about that on TeamSpeak right now?
I'm sure he is. That's what Vert likes to do. He talks about stuff a lot. He's a big talker, but during competitive play, he actually does tone it down a bit.
That's no fun. That's why we all love Vert.
Right. You have him, and of course, your Mumble all the time. He does run with AC from time to time, and yeah, he does. He's got a mouth that kind of just runs for days, but. Of course, Vert, he does stay a lot quieter. He's very concise and to the point during competitive stuff. Malechius is able to actually get a nice kill there. He's at 10 points. We have Talron sitting at 6. Kildar sitting at 8. And ForSoch would actually be sitting at a lot more points than he is right now. He's down 5, so he'd be sitting normally at 8. But unfortunately, he's at 3 because of that TK. It's 103-32. Future Crew playing extremely well, and it looks like Future Crew does have Stoop playing that light assault role now. He has kind of gone just a bit rogue. He might go down, though. He doesn't win that one-on-one. He's unable to aim, apparently, against that TXR member. I really don't know any way else to put it.
It's a minor oversight.
It's a minor oversight. You have to really be able to aim if you want to kill the other player. That's that's another John Madden moment tonight. It looks like
TXR now is doing another push around to the north building, and it looks like all of them are
okay, I'm going to go head over there right now. Nice catch. And yeah, they are going around to that north building. Every single one of them, and this may... Oh, Future Crew is onto it. Tav is right there at the silos. He's kind of looking in, but he's not looking at these guys right here. Magnificent attempting to get that kill on Tav. Tav is able to run away and take cover. You have Primacy down here trying to get a couple picks. One thing to note is Magnificent has no points, unfortunately, right now for TXR.
That's okay. Tomorrow is another day, or another half, depending on how you look at it.
Right, you're right. Yeah, right. You are there. 109-34. Future Crew leads. There are about 5 minutes left in the first half. TXR, looks like they're... I mean, it's really just a matter of getting out-positioned, out-gunned, out-hustled by Future Crew right now. And you got to kind of expect Future Crew they're out for a little bit of a vengeance right now. I mean, they had that tough loss last week where they didn't really look so good. And, to be perfectly honest, they didn't look like their true selves last week against Recursion.
Well, you have to give Recursion credit for that.
You do. You absolutely do.
Just as AC gives DA credit. AC didn't play well, but there's a reason they didn't.
Well, there's an absolute reason.
Played so well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I 100% agree with you there. Future Crew they got out hustled last week by Recursion. They got absolutely outplayed and outpositioned, and that really it brought them off their game. It was because of Recursion's playstyle that brought them off their game. So you're now seeing Future Crew looking a lot more comfortable this week. And it could be just because they're not being as challenged as they were against of course, the excellent shooting and positioning of Recursion. But
no, I kind of like shootering. I think I'm going to go with that.
The shootering of Recursion was a nice Orion kill from Chicho there, and he's actually able to duck inside the building before ForSoch gets a kill on him. Looks like, let's see if ForSoch is able to... Yeah, he's able to kill Chicho. He's going to come and he's going to make an attempt on this point. Make an attempt on the points life. He's going to have to win a one-on-one here against Vert W. He does. That is no easy task, Diz, winning a one-on-one versus Vert W. That was a nice kill there for Soch, who's playing extremely well. He's going for the triple kill, but he doesn't get it. For Soch coming back into the mix with 9 points now for TXR. Nice play from him. 404 is actually able to bring somebody down there. He's got 21. Future Crew point totals very balanced right now. Chicho, of course, a little bit behind, but that, I mean, he really just could not be getting as many opportunities. You're looking at the Future Crew lineup right now. They're playing mostly heavy. They, of course, have that infiltrator with It's Murda. Oh, there was a grenade that kind of either hit me or hit somebody. Might have hit this little building here, but either way, I might have, again, a grenade hit me, so it looks like it's all happening this week, Diz. All my getting in the way with my observer cam. It's finally happening. It's finally, the prophecy is being fulfilled.
Right. We're now to a point where TXR cannot cap, so they need to kind of dial this back a little bit. Just try to get some kills. Don't give up too many points for the half ends.
And that's one of the things we saw in the Tuesday matches. Both Tuesday matches, maybe a little less on the AC versus TIW match, but both Tuesday matches were won very decisively. And one thing the losing team was doing was actually just getting to that triple story building, sitting inside of it, and just going for picks. Like you said, just going for a couple of free kills here and there, because when your team is up, when you're doing really well in a competitive format like this, you get you get a little bit more aggressive, you get a little bit more confident, and you make, sometimes that lends itself to making more mistakes. And if you're a team that's maybe down or losing, all you have to do is kind of sit back a little bit, wait for that team. Nice rocket primary on 404 as I'm talking here. That was a snipe and a half. Very, very good job. I think that was Kildar right there that was able to get that nice kill. But yeah, like sitting back, you're able to just induce mistakes from the enemy team, and that could just really be a big key to getting more points, and that's what TXR needs. You're trying to make the playoffs in this instance, because at the end of the day, nice kill from Vert W there on that was It's Murda on Talron. He's just kind of poking around this rock right now. But at the end of the day, all these teams are really just trying to get into the playoffs, because come playoff time, it's a whole different slate. It's a clean slate, Diz, and I mean, when that slate is clean, your team has to bring it on that day. They have to bring it during the playoffs if they want to really succeed, at that time, and that's the time to succeed. So right now, it's like this is like a 7-week warm up for the playoffs, and that's actually, I was talking to Tav the other day, and that's kind of what he said about it. He's like, we have these 7 weeks, of course, regular season play, but at the end of the day, the 6 teams that make the playoffs, that's when they really have to bring their A game. Murda winning a nice one there against Malachius, and again, Murda just sitting on this rock.
Future Crew I have not seen any team be this aggressive in terms of pushing the spawn. The Future Crew has just got them pinned in.
Yeah, they are right up on this spawn right now. And we were kind of seeing that last game from DA, not quite as aggressively, but it's this south side Sunder. If you don't have a good foothold in any part of this base, this is what's going to happen from that south side Sunder. You're going to get kind of camped from the top of that building, camped from the top of the rocks, as you're seeing Future Crew do right now. Looks like a nice rocket primary attempt that actually is to kill Tav right at the end, and those are the scores for you right now, Diz. We have 167 to 71, Future Crew in the lead over TXR. Talron, actually TXR is top 4 here on this roster, playing very well. I gotta say, they are really doing a good job of keeping their point spread close. Of course, Future Crew doing the same thing, with the exception of Chicho, who is, for some reason, pretty far behind.
You will not speak ill of Cheech.
I can't speak ill of Cheech. He is an absolutely fantastic human being, and an absolutely great player. He's made a lot of improvements over when we first got him.
Pointing out is some of these players with lower scores, as long as they're not dying too much, then that's fine. If you have a low score but you're also dying a lot, you are really hurting your team.
And we call that in Farmers League, we call that actually feeding points. So, a lot of the guys will say, like, I played medic, or I played kind of a support role, but I wasn't feeding very, very many points. And that's a big deal, because, obviously if you're feeding a team a lot of points, you're really harming the chances of your team to win, because every time you die, you're feeding 1 or 2 points to the enemy, and that's just more points for the enemy to be able to catch up on you, and you're also one less player on your team. So Chicho may have 8 points, but he's probably not dying a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead and say he's probably at least not feeding the other team, and doing a good job of that. Player I want to point out on TXR, kind of low on points, Magnificent. I have seen him actually do fairly well the first 2 weeks. I think he was playing on the first week. I'm not recalling as well here, Diz, but Magnificent has played for TXR. I've seen it in the Farmers League, and before he did actually do very, very well. Maybe he's just a little cold tonight. Maybe he's just not on his game. That does happen in this format. And Diz, I've played a couple times in this format already now, and I will say if you're having a cold night, especially against a really good team, you're gonna have a bad time.
It can spiral out of control in a hurry.
Yeah, it can.
You feel like you have to press. You get frustrated. And as a result, you end up playing worse. It's the old anger spiral.
Yes, I completely agree with you there. And I've been a victim of it. I've played a lot of competitive play, for PlanetSide 2 in my time, and I agree. It's like I get into that kind of that spiral, that circle of just being angry at my performance, being angry at myself, like hitting my mouse on my deck and doing or my desk and doing all that kind of stuff. Like, you kind of have to break free of that, because you got to realize that, while you might not be playing well, you kind of have to think that hopefully the team around you is playing well, and that can usually, actually for me at least, serve as a little bit of a pick-me-up to say, all right, let's get my head back into this game. Let's focus down and let's just start scoring some points. That's a huge thing.
That's your mental Xanax.
Right, yeah, I pop a mental Xanax and I just get ready to go. So Magnificent, hopefully he can pop a mental Xanax, get some more points on the board, at least get in double digits by the end of the second half, score some points for TXR, because, the first 2 or 3 slots will matter a lot. Getting, TXR
By the way,
right
can
now
I
is...
ask something real quick?
Oh, go ahead.
Has anybody else noticed that Shock's voice goes kind of Kermit the Frog when it goes out?
Yeah, so I might start turning into Kermit the Frog in about, I'm going to say about T-minus 15 minutes. That's about how long we have on the second match. And then right at the end of that, you're just going to hear Kermit for like 5 minutes, do some analysis. And then, yeah, like I said, yeah, Kermit the Frog is here. He will pop up eventually, because my voice just is I'm still training it to last this long. And there, right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is our cue. Coming back in here, that's a minute to go. We have our Eastern Sunderer here is actually going to be TXR this time. And I gotta say, the Tav Sunderer here on the south side is just kind of waiting with the Future Crew group. So, keys for this second half, Diz, obviously we're going to look for Magnificent to pull a little bit better performance out.
I can go John Madden and say TXR needs to cap the point and kill Future Crew a whole lot.
Yeah, right. You are. That's been my
big bucks.
Right. You are. That's why you're the co-caster every single week for this, because you're spot on almost every time. Gotta say.
At some point, I want to see a team that's down a considerable margin just do something completely ridiculous.
Just have the most,
pull 6 maxes. I mean, what the hell?
Just have the most ridiculous, like, not only like strategy, but just come back too. That would be absolutely insane. So here come TXR fully out of the gate. They get a nice little start there. They're going, as a lot of other teams have done, they're going straight for that building. A snipe attempt from Future Crew. Here comes the rocket primaries. Are they going to be able to take it down? They are not, unfortunately. Future Crew using that rocket primary method from the South Spawn Sunder, attempting to just disrupt the team coming into the point here. And it looks like they're going to have a bit of a stalemate in the 2-3-story buildings. Future Crew definitely looking for a better start this time than they had last time on TXR. TXR going for that rocket primary on top of the buildings. That was Talron looking for that right there. I'm actually surprised Talron is not using a shotgun today. That is his go-to weapon, and it's not to say that he's a cheesy player. That's just what he uses. He's very, very good with it. Future Crew gets a point cap, 353 now. The point is ticking down. No kills have been exchanged thus far, so I'm going to see what TXR has planned inside this building, because they are just kind of sitting back, maybe going on top of the roofs right now. They're playing
great. The first half, they kind of waited for Future Crew to neutralize the point. Future Crew is not buying it this time. They are charging and straight.
Oh, look at this charge too. And they come full force into here. They do lose a couple guys, but they are able to wipe TXR out. 177-75. TXR, I think, was able to get a couple kills in that exchange, but not enough. And I think there's a light assault kind of sitting around the side of this building. Yes, there is. It's Kildar for TXR. And just kind of
Kildar, I would kind of chill for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely would too.
I wouldn't try to take on 5 Future Crew heavies in line. No, that's just me.
That would not be a good idea. He's being very smart. Actually, he's coming down to the point, but actually seeing that point go for the Future Crew players. Oh, and I think he just got a haymaker kill on Chicho. So
he did.
Nice job there from Kildar, and Future Crew now kind of sitting on all the points right now. Sitting on all the angles, just kind of cutting them off for TXR. And this is going to be a little bit, I hesitate the word difficult for Future Crew, but it is going to be, a bit more of a challenge for them to contain TXR as close to the spawns as they had them last round. Because this is for TXR, this is going to be a little bit of an easier, nice attempt at a rocket primary. I think, is Murda sitting up in this building right now? I'm not really sure, but he saw something. No, that was Stuke. And I'm going to say it, ladies and gentlemen, the Stuke Hammer. There he goes, flying high above everybody else.
The Pandora, that is the automatic shotgun, ladies and gentlemen.
It is, dropping down with the Pandora, getting another kill. Stuke, just majestic right now with his flying around. He's a very, very good light assault. He's really developed into one. He started kind of as a heavy, too, for Future Crew, but has just kind of molded himself into this role. And there's another nice Pandora kill from Stuke, who is really vying for that overall lead in points. And here's going to be a 2-on-1 on Tav. Tav in an unfortunate position. A couple grenades go off. And there's a conk grenade that goes down on Chicho. Can he get a kill? He cannot. For Soch is able to finish him off. Chicho under the effects of the unfortunate concussion grenade. Nice couple of kills here. Talron and for Soch. For Soch, of course, the former leader of OP4, and Talron, of course, the leader of TXR. So a couple of talented veteran players of PlanetSide 2 doing work against Future Crew. That was very, very nice. I do play against those guys on live server a lot. They are extremely good. It is not just a show for tonight. So nice job on the Future Crew heavies coming in. Tav in a nice position here in the rocks. He's going to get some backup with VertW. VertW doing his tactical rock maneuvers. He's not trying to get too close right now to the spawns of TXR.
That was interesting. Three TXR went into the building. I guess they didn't like what they see, and then they all came back out.
They just turned around and said, nope.
They saw, I should say. Yep.
Well, I can't blame them sometimes. It looks like we have 404 down here next to kind of the outer silo structure, and it looks like Tav might be caught in another bad position. But he's able to take down 2 TXR members with a little backup from 404 here. On the rocks, we see Stuke. He's going to get a nice kill with his Pandora on for Soch. He does go down, though. Nice kill there from Talron. And a lot of exchanging right now. And look at TXR's score. They have put a lot more on the board since this match has started. I mean, maybe they are doing.
Future Crew's 10 seconds from getting 25 more points.
They are. You're absolutely right. It is 221. It's about to be 25 more points for Future Crew, but TXR right now, their eyes might be focused on something else because, you're looking at, as I keep talking about, you're looking at playoffs, you're looking at making that top 6, and TXR looking to be really, after this match, they are going to go to 1 and 2. They want to be that 5th or 6th place team, and they need to get points. They need to score against Future Crew right now and get that first tiebreaker, which is total points scored in the league. Stuke,
it is
majestically flying around. Yeah, go ahead.
In terms of the playoff fight, I think it is going to be a dogfight for that last spot. The top 5, I think it's fair to say at this point, you're going to see DA, Recursion, Future Crew, AC, and TIW, unless something drastic happens.
And
the last spot is really going to be a dogfight.
Yes, it is, and I agree. And one thing I do want to point out too is TIW has not actually been winning the matches that they need to win as of yet. Obviously they've had a pretty crazy start. They've played both Future Crew, they've played AC.
And it only gets crazier. They play DA next week, and then they play Recursion after.
So they've got a real nasty schedule coming up, and if they can get even one win out of those, that definitely will probably secure, hopefully, a 5th place spot for them. But they are 1 and 2 right now, so TIW definitely needs to get a win on at least one of these, kind of more put together experienced teams in this league, because TIW definitely has found, definitely last week, or I'm sorry, Tuesday, they found a struggle against AC. Of course, they did have some connection issues and some roster issues, but, which was unfortunate, but AC did play well as well. So
TIW has the talent, and they certainly have the organization.
Yes, they do. Tav has actually resorted to starting to be a sniper, and you know what? One player that I haven't seen yet, Murda. I have no idea where he is. And
Murda is...
I don't know if you've seen him yet this match. He has been scoring points, so it's not like he's been inactive. I just haven't seen him at all.
He's that good.
He is that good, apparently.
He is chilling right by the Sunderer.
Okay, so being weird by the Sunderer. That's kind of the Murda style right now. Switching out loadouts, and I'm going to kind of watch him now. I love Infiltrator play. He's going to try to get a nice Artemis kill on Taron here. Taron's able to jump below the rocks into the silo area. A conk nade goes off. Chicho's chasing him down right now, and Murda's going to try to help him out. And there he is. Talron's stuck in a bad position. Or that was actually for Soch stuck in a bad position. Going down, and Murda just... He's kind of sitting in the same spot he was last round, just sitting kind of close to the rocks, tough to spot, being extremely sneaky, being a bamboozler, as I like to call it.
He is just casually winning the Dildar war. Future Crew has had one up this whole time, and TXR, the second they get one up, it's gone.
Yes, and Murda, you got to look at that kind of play that I don't really catch, sometimes on my camera, is that play from those sensor sticks, from those Dildars that... infiltrators have to pay attention to, because look at that rocket primary from Vert W on Talron. Beautifully placed. Talron moving around the corner and just cannot get the finish there on Vert
It's honestly
W.
The whole Dildar thing is one of the most important things in the match, and it never shows up in the scoreboard because the infils usually don't have a lot of points. But being able to see where the bad guys are and they can't see where you are, I mean, come on.
No, absolutely. And you're actually seeing a little bit of a sign of frustration here on TXR, going for that rocket primary. They could have actually had an easy kill there had they just shot their weapons. But I think Vert is frustrating them a little bit with his rocket primary play, because that's actually the first thing he goes for when he sees somebody come around a corner. He moves for that rocket primary. That's how he's able to win 2v1s very effectively, because he'll kill or damage the first guy with the rocket primary. It looks like he just redeployed. But he'll kill or damage somebody with that rocket primary, and then he's able to finish the next guy off with his weapon, because his weapon is going to be fully loaded. He's going to be able to get those first couple nice, easy shots off into the head of somebody. 404 with a nice Orion snipe there on the Infiltrator. And, we were talking about Magnificent earlier. He still is struggling quite a bit for points. 5:55 left in the match. It's 293 to 120. Future Crew, massive lead. Of course, trying to really get themselves up on the point total. They will go up to 2-1 here with of course, granted they win this, which it looks like they will. They'll go up to 2-1. They'll be tied, actually, I believe, with AC in record at least. I'm not sure how the score is going to look. So they could be either in third or fourth in the league after tonight.
Let's look at the standings. I think they'll be a little bit behind in the points.
Okay. Yeah, so because I think AC has gotten a couple games where they've scored quite a few points. So Future Crew has not. They actually had TIW in their first game, and I think it was Recursion in their second. So they've had a bit of a rough first 2 weeks, going against some very, very good teams. And of course, TXR, no slouch either. They're not going to let Future Crew score at least definitely as many points as DA scored last round against 56RD. So TXR, nice, 123 points. They're going for that kind of 150 mark. That's going to be a good mark for TXR to get to tonight. But yeah, Future Crew just playing very solid, playing well, playing like a team, and just not really getting flustered over anything.
Yeah, as soon as they cap the point in the second half, they've just kind of been running out the clock since, not taking any chances, not being as aggressive as they were in the first half.
But they still are pushed up extremely far. If you look, they are a very aggressive team by nature. That's kind of how they've always been. That's kind of how they've always played competitively. So you're seeing that out of Future Crew tonight. Just that aggressive maneuvering playstyle. It's very organic. And they're kind of encroaching just a little bit close to the spawns of TXR. They might have to back off just a little bit. Tav is probably calling that down right now. And I think Murda at this point is sniping. I saw a couple ghost kills from him. Little push here. They actually are able to outflank Future Crew just a little bit. TXR was, and they're going to have a little bit of a battle here. Nice EMP grenade going off. A couple rocket primary attempts. Vert W is actually able to take down 2. He might be able to take down a 3rd. He is not. And I think I just heard a sniping attempt, but it did miss from Malachius.
That was a very timely EMP.
Malachus, yeah.
That in its tracks.
It really was a great EMP, and he really should have gotten at least that one snipe kill from the no shields of those heavies. All he had to do was actually get a body shot there. So I do see somebody from Future Crew floating around way over here. I think that's Stuke. Yes, it is. So Stuke using that just majestic flying ability of the light assault.
You like that word, don't you? Especially when it comes to Stuke.
I love a lot of things about Stuke.
I know. We all do.
We all do.
He's got beautiful hair. I'm
wow.
Facebook friends with him, and what he has is, I came out of my alcoholic comatose. No, his hair is prettier than Fabio's. I don't know if you've seen.
I agree. I actually roomed with him in Vegas, so I do know that Stuke has gorgeous locks, and I'd
like to hear more about that experience.
Well, there was a couple elements that I probably can't say on stream, but Stuke, he's actually into the whole. He's really into pills, and not in a bad way. Actually, in like the way where it's.
Hold on. How can you be into pills but not in a bad way?
So he likes the pills that I can't really think. I don't want to speak for him, but
like Advil?
No, not like Advil. Like he's not like a painkiller type of dude. He's more of like a, like bro pills. Like, oh, this is gonna enhance your, your brain function and performance. He's that kind. I don't know. It's hard to describe.
I feel like we're going down a dark.
We are probably going down a very dark path, but he's not that kind.
Else. Let's just go back to his hair.
Go back to the hair of Stuke. It's very gorgeous locks.
It's beautiful.
I'm gonna sit right behind him right now and just kind of. We actually slept in the same bed. That's not a joke. That's not made up. We did have to share a bed at SOE
Live. It's
all
starting to come together.
I know that I don't need to bring this up, but we all know that Grilled Chicken Sister has probably more beautiful hair than Stu.
I would assume that that's probably the case. And Skeezy, I do kind of want to ask. It's been maybe 20 minutes since we've heard from you. I just kind of want to ask where you went.
Well, all right. There's a period.
He took a little sabbatical.
Okay, by sabbatical you mean me walking out into my driveway and shotgunning 3 beers? Then yes, that is a sabbatical.
Okay, so it sounds like that has worked out for you because you are still alive. You are still here talking to us.
Absolutely. And
and
I
that's
have a
good.
successful career, and my career is dependent on my ability to socialize and to shotgun beers with my clients.
Excellent.
That is right.
Perfect. That's the career to have, really. The one that you can just drink on the job. And nice, by the way,
Absolutely.
rocket primary from Talron there on the Future guy. I'm not sure who that was. I think that was 404 that he hit. A lot of rocket primaries going on from TXR right now. They're working on that 150 mark. Future Crew at 347 with 42 seconds left to go in our second match of the evening. And I
think it's interesting that Vert really must have annoyed someone because TXR was not shooting many rockets when this started.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this was probably Vert's fault. And people of the audience, I want to apologize right now. It does say first half on there. This actually is the second half. I did forget to change that. Sometimes it does slip my mind. It's not an automatic thing that happens, so that is my fault. It is the second half. Obviously, you can probably see that by the scores. You guys have probably seen enough of these right now to hopefully know what's going on in terms of like scores and everything like that. So, end of the second half. We got 4 seconds left, and that's going to do it for us. There's the sound that goes off. And there it is, folks. That's the end. We have that done. And that might be the sound of a certain animal, but I'm gonna go into a little bit of analysis of the Future Crew game. Tav bringing it hard, Vert W winning in points for Future Crew there. Nice 66 points. Tav 52. Very balanced overall for Future Crew. There are a lot of guys above 50, a lot of guys above 40. Excellent play, of course, from Future Crew. TXR, Talron brought his game up by so much in that second half. I want to say he probably had, 30 points in that second half? Because he only had in the teens somewhere, I think, Diz, in the first half.
16, 18 in the first half, I want to say, so yeah.
So he had a nice second half. Very good job by Talron there. And, I want to say he didn't use a shotgun at all. So good job there from Talron, of course. For Soch, he was 5 points down than he should have been. Had a nice round. Kildar, magnificent. Still not bring it. Primacy a little bit lagging behind, and of course Chicho actually did very well for Future Crew in the second half as well, scoring just about 30 points total. So Chicho bringing his game up as well. Nice job by Future Crew. I'm just going to go in quick. If you guys missed Tuesday, we did stream as well on Tuesday. Ender was, of course, our guest if you guys missed that. But AC played against TIW. It was a very nice match. TIW had a couple of connection issues. Had to play down a man for a couple minutes of that match, but AC winning a nice round, 320 to 202. TIW is still scoring a good amount of points, but AC bringing home that victory. And Recursion, the very, very powerful Recursion in this tournament, winning 330 to 113 over Dread on this very same map. So good job there from Recursion, and I want to go into the standings as we have them after week 3. So we have DA and Recursion leading right now. They're both 3-0. They have not dropped a single game. That's a really good place to be in, especially if you want to be number 1 or number 2 in this league at the end. AC Future Crew going up 2-1. They have 6 points now. One win, by the way, guys, is worth 3 points. A tie is worth 1 if it ever happens. I doubt it will. And then a loss, of course, not worth anything. TIW and TXR both sharing 1 win, 2 losses, and then 56RD and Dread at the bottom with 3 losses. The thing about DA and Recursion right now, I really am excited to see these guys in a couple weeks. They will actually play each other, so there will be a loss there. But Diz, I'm going to go ahead and try to call it now. I don't think there's going to be a undefeated team in this tournament.
I don't think so either. I think there's too many strong teams.
I just don't think it's going to happen. I really think, Recursion obviously has to play DA, so there's going to be somebody's going to lose there. Recursion's, they still have to play AC, of course DA. I think they still have to play TIW, so they still have some tough teams ahead of them. They're not in the clear yet, so there's going to be a loss from them. DA, same sort of a scenario. They're still not out of the water yet. They, of course, both teams 3-0, but we're going to see a loss for sure. I just do not foresee, like I said, that undefeated team happening in this league. And as I said earlier, you can look all this stuff up on ps2farmers.com. It is a more detailed standings, more detailed scoreboard. So look that up. You can see those first tiebreakers, which is the total points scored in the league. So you're able to see kind of where DA and Recursion will stand, where AC and Future Crew will stand after today. I think you're right, Diz. AC might just be barely ahead of Future Crew, so Future Crew will stay in that 4th place position. I'm not sure about DA and Recursion, though. I'm not sure who's going to actually be ahead officially on points, but that's going to be interesting to see after today. TIW, TXR, looking at those those last 2 spots for the playoffs, and 56RD, Dread. Those 2 teams definitely need to get a win off. And if we look into next week, the next match is actually going to be next Thursday, so it's going to be a week from today. You're going to see TXR is going to play Dread. That's going to be the first game, and that's going to be a really interesting game, in my opinion, Diz, because you get 2 teams. I mean, they're both battling for a playoff spot. This is a big game for that.
Absolutely. And we've seen, TXR has the experience, but Dread, kind of like 56RD, has looked better and better each week.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's the thing. I think this is going to be a very close, very even match. I'm really, really excited to cast that match next Thursday. And of course, the second match is going to be TIW versus DA, a big challenge for both teams going against each other next Thursday. I cannot wait to cast this for you guys. Just for an FYI for everybody, next week on Tuesday, which is matches aren't usually streamed or cast by me on Tuesday nights, but we will probably have something up for you guys that's going to show the scores live. Tuesday's got some exciting matches. We have 56RD plays Future Crew. That's going to be first, the same time, the 6:10 Pacific time start. But at 6:55, we're going to see. We're going to have it, at least a static cam up for you guys. Recursion's going to play against AC. And Diz, I am so hyped for that. I'm going to be following that around for sure. I can't wait to see the outcome of that. I'm sure your guys are excited. Diz, obviously, of course, is from AC. you got to be excited to try to knock down Recursion.
Oh,
at least. Yeah, no, there's got to be something there. So that's going to be a fun match to at least see the outcome of on Tuesday night. That's going to be the second match Tuesday. But once again, I'm Shock. Diz was kind enough to join us again tonight as a co-caster, and of course Skeezy for the color commentary. I had a lot of trouble.
From time to time.
Yeah, from time to time when he was around and not shotgunning in his driveway. But thanks, Skeezy, for being here.
I mean, shotgunning in the driveway is one thing. Lieutenant Commander Waffles she was on site and she was offering strategic advice. But let's not get into that. We'll get into that next week.
That's right.
Absolutely. So good job, Skeezy and Waffles, Lieutenant Commander Waffles, his dog, by the way.
Thank you. Show a little respect.
Absolutely. As a Lieutenant Commander, I like the promotion.